Hi everyone. Let's see this article from the Indian Express. In IPCC report, a message for India. Need to agree on net zero emission target. Yes, India, the third largest emitter in the world, has been holding out against the target, arguing that it was already doing much more than it was required to do and that any further burden would jeopardize its effort to pull its millions out of poverty. With a warning that a 1.5 degree warming was likely even before 2040, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, has tried to make a case, much stronger than before, for immediate cuts on global greenhouse gas emissions. For India, it is likely to translate into increased pressure to agree to a net zero target. A deadline by which it should be able to bring down its emissions to a level that equals the absorption made by its carbon sinks like forests. IPCC assessment reports, the 6th edition of which was released on Monday, are not policy prescriptive. They do not tell countries what to do, but their science forms the basis for climate action across the globe and foundation for international climatic negotiations. In the case of the 6th assessment report, the fact that the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming has been shown to be closer than thought is likely to trigger widespread calls for stronger, more wide-ranging emission cuts from all countries. Not that the 1.5 degree deadline has not been discussed earlier, but this is the first time that the IPCC has said that the 1.5 degree warming was inevitable even in the best case scenario. The most ambitious emission pathways would lead to the warming be achieved in the 2030s, overshoot to 1.6 degrees Celsius before the temperature dropped back again to 1.4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. Several countries, more than 100, have already announced their intentions to achieve net zero emissions by the middle of the century. These include major emitters like the United States, China, and the European Union. So, India, the third largest emitter in the world, has been holding out. Even China, the world's biggest emitter, has a net zero goal for 2060. But other countries would feel the heat as well. For the purpose of global warming and its impacts, the pathways are as important as the destination. Immediate emission cuts and a steady pathway to net zero is expected to bring better benefits than a business as usual scenario, and a sudden drop in emission towards the end to meet the target. Even for the countries that have pledged a net zero target, the substantial part of their emission cuts is planned only for 2035 and beyond. The new evidence in the IPCC report is likely to put pressure on them as well to reconsider their pathways. The science is clear. The impacts of the climate crisis can be seen around the world, and if we don't act now, we will continue to see the worst effect impact lives, livelihoods, and natural habitats, said Alok Sharma, the UK minister who will preside over the climate change talks in Glasgow in November this year. Sharma emphasized on the need to keep the hopes alive for a 1.5 degree world, as did all the speakers from IPCC at the release of the report on Monday.